Friend, hope you're doing well. Have you ever wondered what type of places are hidden in Madina? Don't think cause we got you covered. Here are 10 places you should consider to visit in Madina beside the holy mosques. Number 1. Wadi alJin. It is a valley just 30 kilometers away from Madina. In the northwest direction to the city, the place holds a mystery that has attracted and fascinated people from around the world. In the holy land of Saudi Arabia, this place sees many travelers and tourists putting camps on the roadside on weekends. The biggest mystery of the valley is that cars and automobiles move on the road without the driver touching the steering. It has been observed that the vehicles are moved towards Madina, and locals believe that jinn are present in the place. The valley is surrounded by hills on 3 sides and is shaped like an egg. It offers a breathtaking view with no habitation and clear blue sky. It is renowned as Wadi alJin or Wadi al-Beta. A lot of people went to explore the valley and experience the truth behind stories and folktales. Travelers went there out of curiosity to try out the place by turning off the ignition and putting the car in neutral mode. Their car started moving, and that too in the upward direction, leaving them confused and bewildered. Cars have been reported to move as fast as 120 kilometers per hour without any human driving them. A few experiments also involve pouring water on the road. People have observed that it moves upward in direction rather than flowing down the slope. Number 2. Cave of Bani Haram. Located at the Prophet's Mosque's northwest, the Bani Haram cave is one of the most iconic places to visit in Medina. It is a critical symbol of the trench battle, the heated battle which took place between the Quraysh, the Muslims, and several Arab tribes. It was a challenging battle in which the Muslims, despite being betrayed and outnumbered, still emerged victorious. It was in this cave where the Prophet spent numerous nights during the battle. This cave is also believed to be the same cave where the Prophet prostrated on receiving Allah's message. Hence, it came to be known as the Cave of Prostration. This cave stands on the Bani Haram tribe's clan, and as per legends, it is also the place where one of the Prophet's companions, Jabir ibn Abdullah, lived once. The Cave of Prostration. It contains a spring of water from which the Prophet performed ablution, and it is still running to this day. Number 3. Sheikh Salama Rashta Museum. This heritage museum, offering an eclectic assemblage of cars, period furniture, and antiques, is one of the grandest places to visit in Medina. The historical center of Sheikh Salama bin Rashid al-Juhani lets you view old exhibition halls that have their own legacy. If you always wanted to witness some of the historical gems in the form of iconic vehicles, then this is an excellent spot to be at. This wonderful place is worth visiting because no other place preserves the heritage of Medina as well as this museum. Thus, do not miss out on this one if your heart always yearned to spot some old Saudi heritage and collectibles with historical importance. Salama al-Juhani Museum is a private folklore museum owned by Salama bin Rashid al-Juhani. The museum is located in Medina in Saudi Arabia. The museum consists of a separate building of 1 floor divided into 20 suites that display integrated collections of ancient audio devices, copper plates, old lighting tools, hospitality tools, Arabic coffee, manuscripts, documents, books, inscriptions, coins, leather, weapons and war tools, handicrafts, textiles and clothing of both kinds, men and women, and, as well as women jewelry and toiletry tools, mummification tools, Arab medicine tools and old cars. Number 4. The Hedges Railway Museum. The once vast Hedges Railway was originally designed to speed Muslim pilgrims from Damascus to the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, but ended in ruins less than 2 decades after its start. Its sun-scalded remains can be seen today, cut adrift across northwestern Saudi Arabia in the form of sand-dusted rails, abandoned stations and rusted locomotives. The line, begun in 1900, spanned 600 kilometers from Syria to Medina by 1908, though its planned final leg to Mecca would never be realized. During the First World War, sections of the line were attacked by Lawrence and his Arab allies, and by 1918, less than 2 decades after the project's beginning, in Medina you will find a railway museum that was opened in 2006. It is on the grounds of the historic Ottoman railway station at Medina, including a stretch of the historic track and a train shed with originally 4 tracks. There are several engines and pieces of rolling stock on display, some of which has been transported to the museum from other places along the historic Hedges railway line. At least 1 engine has been restored enough to be mobile on the museum tracks. It is, along with the old train station at Madina Sale, one of 2 museums in Saudi Arabia dedicated to the Hedges railway. Number 5. Mount Uhud. Mount Uhud is one of the most famous mountains in the Arabian Peninsula and among the greatest geographical and historical landmarks of the blessed city of Medina. It is one of the mountains that the people of Medina frequently visit out of their sheer love for the Prophet Muhammad. According to a narration by Hadrat Anas, the Prophet once said, "Uhud is a mountain that loves us and we love it." The mountain has many distinguishing features, most important of which is that it is made of volcanic rocks. Number 6. Jabal Air. Jabal Air is the second largest mountain in Madina after Uhud and marks the southern boundary of Madina. The Prophet described it as a mountain of hell. The Prophet declared, "Uhud is a mountain which loves us and which we love. It is upon the gate of heaven," adding, "and Air is a place which hates us and which we hate. It is upon the gate of hell." Air means a wild ass, whereas Uhud is derived from Ahad, meaning one, so called because it is fated to be the place of victory to those who worship one God. The very names, say Muslim sages, make it abundantly evident that even as the men of Al-Madinah were of two parties, friendly and hostile to the Prophet, so were these mountains. Number 7. Masjid Al-Qiblatain. Al-Madinah is rich with historic Islamic sites that are frequented by visitors to the Saudi Arabian city. The city reminds them of the Prophet's teachings and the spreading of Islam to all parts of the world. Among Madina's landmark sites is Masjid Al-Qiblatain, or the Mosque of the Two Qiblas. Built by Sawad bin Ghanam bin Ka'b during the second year of Hijrah, it is historically important to Muslims because it is where the Quranic revelation for Prophet Muhammad to change the direction of the Qibla took place. The Qibla, or the direction to which Muslims face during prayer, was then changed forever. From Bayt al-Maqdis in Jerusalem to the Holy Kaaba in Mecca. This occurred on the 15th of Shaban, when Prophet Muhammad led his companions during Dhuhr prayers, then was commanded by a Quranic revelation to face toward the Kaaba. Thus, the Kaaba became the Qibla for all Muslims across the world. The mosque was named after this incident, as the Mosque of the Two Qiblas, because part of the prayer was performed facing Jerusalem, and the rest was toward Mecca. Number 8. Masjid Qurban. The history of Masjid Qurban, located in Madina, makes it one of the most popular mosques among Muslims. It is an important site for tourists who come to the city and also for Hajj and Umrah pilgrims. Its history makes it an important spiritual attraction. The mosque was built in the outskirts of Madina, around 6 kilometers far from the village of Qurban. It dates back to the 7th century and is believed to be one of the oldest mosques in the history of Islam. It is said that the first stones were laid out by Prophet Muhammad when he came back from Mecca. The Qurban Mosque is located on the outskirts of Madina, a major holy city in Saudi Arabia. Many centuries ago, when the mosque was built, it was about 6 kilometers away from the main city of Madina. It was located in a village named Qurban, and hence the name. Many years later, when the perimeter of Madina was expanded to include the Qurban village, it became a part of the holy city. Religiously, it is an important location because the Prophet stayed here when he came from Mecca. The mosque was then established at the same place by the Prophet himself. Number 9. Ghamama Mosque. Mosque of Algama is one of the oldest mosques in Medina, Saudi Arabia, located in the place believed to be where the Prophet Muhammad performed an Eid prayer in the year 631 C. According to the Hadith tradition, once the people of Medina complained to Prophet Muhammad on the lack of water and rainfall and their hardships in consequence. At the moment Prophet was at the Masjid-e-Nabawi, he rose and emerged from the mosque and offered Salatul Istisqa at this approximate location. As he prayed, the clouds started to gather and rain fell. Number 10. Janat alBaqi. Janat alBaqi is the largest cemetery located in Madina and is located next to Masjid Nabawi. It is thought to contain the graves of at least 10,000 companions of the Prophet. Unfortunately, it is impossible to identify these graves today as they are unmarked. It has 3 entrances, one on the north side, another on the east, and its main entrance is on the western side. This entrance is used by visitors and for when burials take place. Every day after the obligatory Salah in Masjid Nabawi, it is commonplace to see a janazah prayer follow immediately after. The bodies thereafter are carried to top left corner of the mosque compound where there is an entrance to the cemetery, known as Janat alBaqi. Baqi refers to land embedded with the roots of different trees. It is the oldest and first designated Muslim cemetery in Madina.